Morning. Today is Saturday. It is May the 5th, 4th. It's the 4th. And it's about 9:15 in the morning on a day where our temperature is, I'm going to say it's low 50s right now. And I am in the Five Bogs area. We're going to do a sweep of the area to see if there's anything going on here today. First time since the, I think just shy of November last year because weather got weird. And let's go see what we find. I'm going to keep the intro short, sweet. Let's hit it. Thanks. As many of you know, one of my favorite peeves in the Bigfoot subject right now is stick structures. So for all the people that are out there, once again, and this may become a weekly segment where I mock the people who call me an armchair guy. Take a look. Look carefully. I'll go as slow as reasonably possible. And take a look at all the lovely sticks down on the ground. And then accept one simple truth, dear boy and girl. Bigfoot did none of this. Even that interesting thing right there. You know what did that? Gravity did that. Suck it up. Make it part of your science lesson for the day. Or whine to somebody who bloody effing cares. Now we go to segment break because I need to cover a little bit of ground. Have a lovely day and thank you for playing. Seriously, we're back this time. I had to get the stick structure thing out of my system, and no, he didn't do that either. Just because yesterday there was a flare-up, and I just get very tired. Anytime anyone comes out and speaks the truth, 99.9999, keep doing that another 3,000 times, % of the time, stick structures are gravity, snow load, people interacting with it, or some random natural phenomenon like boring insects combined with wind. But the fact of the matter remains, it ain't Bigfoot. And you see the people come out and make all these charming, rational, this is just your opinion, you don't know. Perhaps, perhaps not, but at least my opinion is formulated on the basis of a whole lot of scientific evidence, whereas the contrary opinion is a bunch of wishful, delusional thinking and bullshit. And every day, every time I make a video, I suspect I'm going to make a little bit of a segment where I point out, because again, I never see any deadfall of any kind. Nope, nothing. And so I wouldn't know what does it. I would never see it. I have no basis of comparison because I'm in my living room being an armchair guy right now, drinking a beer and watching football or whatever, old game show reruns. But no. Armchair this. All of this, not Bigfoot. And all the time I'm here today, I'm going to see this shit throughout the day, and I'm not going to come to some conclusion that the cult of the stick pile has any validity, because it doesn't. So suck it, if you're one of those delusional people. It is one of my little New Year's resolutions where I'm not going to be so nice about it. You want to be in a group on Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, wherever, where you want to just basically subscribe to the bullshit. That is your option. You're stupid, but it is your option, and you're right. However, for every whiny little bitch out there, and I'm going to call you what you are, a whiny little bitch who goes out there and says, you have to respect everybody. No, I don't. If you're posting stupid, delusional shit, I don't have to respect your opinion, and I'm not going to. Again, suck it. And or suck it up. We're adults living in an adult society. If you're 5, maybe I'll give you a pass for crying about it, but there's not a single bit of evidence of a remotely scientific nature pointing to Bigfoot arranging sticks in the woods. The only picture that's ever out there that you've ever seen was the one I posted on Facebook the other day, and that was very much AI generated by the Meta AI itself. I'll even give the little chat bot credit. So, yeah. And normally I hate chatbots, just on a side note, but the Meta AI kind of comes across a little snarky, so it's actually kind of amusing. Weird mix of complimentary and snarky. But surprisingly, I have not gotten, unless I've missed them, any hate comments on Facebook or not in a group where I for hating on stick structures, but it's always fun to watch them retreat when you hit them with science. That's all I'm going to say about that. We should probably move on to other stuff. So, what else is going on in the world of Bigfoot this week? Notice I have to stop and think about it. The people in the group of town over are having a meet and greet tomorrow at, I think it's October Mountain, which is, I'm not gonna go out on a map and point to it directly because I'm not sure. It's near Pittsfield. It's near Pittsfield, which is in the northwestern corner of the state, and that's why I'm not pointing to a map on it, because I already messed it up. So I hope they have a good time tomorrow. I had indicated I might be able to come. My schedule is not going to allow it. I have some life-related issues I have to handle. Nothing medical, just previous commitments, and that is not going to work out. Say good morning to the Pine Island. And it's not quite as flooded as it was last year, first time around. Last year, like right up flush with this, you had, the beavers had the beaver equivalent of catnip or something. They went monkey shit building dams and flooding the crap out of this entire area, which they did a fine job of. The first couple of weeks getting in here was kind of soggy, to say the least. Anyway, let's have a quick look around here since we made the journey in here. And this, for the official record, is considered to be bog number 2 in the 5 bogs. Although in previous revisions, it's actually now, you could argue there's 6 or 7 bogs if you look at the greater area. Interestingly enough, that sort of kind of looks like a foot, although there's no definition, therefore nothing to back that theory up. So can I get over here without getting my feet soaked or what? Let's see. It is looking like no, unless... Yeah, that's all swamp anyway, so I'm going to cover more ground instead today, but I do want to get some photography. So we're going to take a very quick segment break while I get some lovely scenic photos of this area, and we'll pick up from there. For those newer to the channel and not familiar with the history of this place, where that little mini Pine Island is there, if you go 30 feet over here, in 2015 was when I had the first run-in with the family group. That one I suspect being the mother of the two, prior to them having the youngin' and it turning into 3. So, let's see if I can kind of wander over here. This looks like it's drier than that area is. Dry being relative, because I can already feel... I learned the hard way over time, these boots are not so much waterproof as they are water sort of resistant, according to marketing hype. So, let's see if I can get right up to the water line. Basically over that way around that corner, and then go another 40 feet. And she came down from the hill over here and we had a brief confrontation where my suspicion is that they had a nest in the area. If you go around the Pine Island and you go through the divide over there and cover maybe a quarter mile, there's another meadow over that way, and somewhere in the backside of that, up on the hillside, they had a nest or something. And they were a wee bit territorial. I think more so than normal, because Mommy was preggers and Daddy was a wee bit protective of that because of that, and that's why they didn't want me here, and they showed me the door not once but twice. So yeah, that's a thing. And second time I had the run-in and an actual like full-on sighting was over there. If you look in the tree line there, and went in probably another 500 feet that way, like directly parallel. Do like a 45 that way and then that way. That would be about where they popped up and ran off after doing some interesting weirdness. And that one may have been the female or the male. I wasn't really sure which. I suspect, again, it was the female, but that's a story for another day. We're going to get some photography done and continue on our journey for today and do a pattern sweep through here. And so far, all is quiet, though. Back. And we're in a different stretch of woods. We have seen, as I stumble and look clumsy, I have a copy of I have a photo of it. I'll post it to Facebook later. A large moose track that I'm guessing to some degree was distorted in the mud. If not, then the bull moose that made that is absolutely huge. I guess we'll let you be the judge. Again, I'm thinking it's at least partially distorted. Anyway, first day in this area seems to be quiet. It's the typically this time of year, the this area is not heavily populated yet, because number one, the gates are still closed on the gated forest roads, and the until you get to Memorial Day. I mean, this month is turkey season, and I do have a turkey license up here, but I can safely report I've seen diddly in the sign of any sign of turkey. And if form was holding true from last year, all during turkey season, I think I came up with my bow to hunt once. I saw nothing, of course. And enter the first week in June, the first week after turkey season, and the damn turkeys are everywhere. Because that's just how that works. They know when you're trying to get them, and they don't feel like getting got, so they don't make it easy. Got some animal leavings there. Looks like deer of some kind. Huh? Bambi leavings, Bambi pellets. There's a weird looking burl, which is basically, if anyone doesn't know what that is, going back to my forestry whatnot, it's basically the tree's answer to a tumor. It's not good. If you hear the telltale sign of a wheeze in my voice, it's also allergy season, so green dust is everywhere. Starting to begin up here. In Connecticut, it's rife. It's just, I'm going to be honest with you, it's rife and all that, so it is what it is with that. All the things start to sprout and bloom and look pretty, but the price tag is breathing for a month or two sucks royal, so. Anyway, as far as things in the community, until we get new photos and things, the upsurge right now is in Meta AI on Facebook, making all these lovely Bigfoot pictures. I'm kind of guilty of that myself. I posted the one of Bigfoot playing with stick piles, because in real life, we know where I stand on that. And on a final note, I hate to harp on the stick structure thing all video, but hold that thought. Check out these funky ass mushrooms. Get out of the way. Check these things out. Any mushroom geeks out there that know what these are, speak up. I'm going to take a break for 1 second because I want to get some photos of that. Bear with me. Photo taken. Moving on. When you have stick structure people condescendingly asking, do you have experience with Sasquatch? No, I've only been doing this since 2003. And yes, stick structures are bullshit. And for anyone who's trying to make the claim that they have their little secret hidden knowledge, no, you don't. All you're going to do is embarrass yourself when you say that, so don't do that. Because if you did know something about it in forestry and how shit works out here in the woods, then you'd know that the likelihood of Bigfoot making stick structures is minute at best. And for the people that like to point out, I know I've done this one before, but like to point out that the big upside down trees in the ground in Alaska, I hate to burst your bubble. Loggers did that. And why did they do that? They did that because you're in the middle of friggin' nowhere, and they did it as a navigational marker. And how did they do it? Loggers have power equipment. They have steam engines and things of this nature. They have bulldozers and shit. They have construction equipment that is powered. And therefore they can do this kind of thing. So that's how they do that. We come down here. Bambi track. Always check the mud for the tracks and the stuff. And all that. I know I've been on this exact spot before. Is that not beautiful? Bear with me a sec. Let me get to some flatter ground so I'm not potentially hurting myself here. So you see that stuff across there too? You know what I'm going to say, so I won't even say it now. So I also have a fishing license up here, and can you tell what I'm thinking? Nice place to grab some trout for lunch or something. Or perch or bass or whatever's in here. Probably would wager trout though. So, to kind of summarize today, no sign of turkey, no sign of forest buddies. I just farted. And stick structures remain 99.9 times gazillion % bullshit. So I'm going to take some photos of the scenery, and then we are going to see what happens next. But for now, yet another segment break. We'll be back. Back for the outro. I will insert before this anything that may happen on the way out, but it's been pretty quiet so far today. We have covered 3 of the 5 bogs. Well, technically 4, but... And we have moose tracks, we have deer tracks. No brown snakes this week. Last week we ran across a rather small and rather mellow brown snake who wanted to take a picture for us, and one of my subscribers, Linda Thomas, asked about brown snakes. Brown snakes are thoroughly harmless, and one of the unique snakes native to Vermont, maybe other states further north in Connecticut, but Connecticut, to my knowledge, does not have brown snakes. I've never seen ringneck snakes down there either, and a ringneck snake also native to Vermont and maybe other places. They have, just so you know, toxic qualities in their saliva. They have venomous saliva. It is, so they say, and this is with the disclaimer that you may be one out of 3 million people that has a screwy allergy to it. But otherwise, their venom, such as it is thoroughly harmless to humans, but they're out here too. They're actually a rather nice looking snake. They're blue with like an orange belly and collar around their neck. And they're about the same size as a brown snake. They're not dangerous to people at all. I've handled one of them before I knew they had poisonous spit. But it made no effort to bite me, and it has all the bite force of a garter snake, which is basically diddly. As opposed to back in Connecticut, something like a black racer, which, although it's not venomous at all, if you piss it off or you mess with it, it's going to bite you, and it can draw blood. Again, not poisonous, but it can dig you, and you might need to get a Band-Aid and clean it out because salmonella and reptiles and that kind of thing. That will be your forestry tip for the day. In the meantime, like, subscribe, make comments as you see fit. Tell me what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Make suggestions of what you might like me to do differently, and we will take those into consideration. Until then, and until next time, and unless something happens on the way out where I have to throw the addendum in before this, if things might happen to look out of order, that'll be why. Have yourself a great day. I hope you enjoyed being out here with me, and we will be probably out again next week. We'll catch you then. We'll see you later. Bye.